Let's talk about the craziest E3 predictions that our listeners have. Before we get into that, does anyone have like just a straight up dumb prediction about like way out there, crazy ideas, something that might not even couldn't ever happen, but you think might?
I don't know. Announce that they bought Tomb Raider, and it is now forever exclusive.
That would be nuts.
That's not happening. But that's absolutely not happening. But I'm just, I mean, that's the level. The thing with Microsoft, right? It's like they have this weird. I feel like, myself included, it's hard to let go of the idea of Microsoft as like, we have a lot of money and we're comfortable using it. Sort of like that, like New York Yankees style, like we will use our money to make this happen kind of mentality. And so, I don't know, like I can see them having some crazy acquisition. Like Mojang was it, obviously, last year or whenever that was. But I think
it was like 10 years ago by now.
Like 25 years ago, yeah. I remember came out of the womb and my mom was immediately just talking to me about.
Like, good news, Andrew.
Yeah, though I can see it like close as I can have to a dumb prediction would be something like that. Them just being like, we bought this thing, and everyone's like, whoa.
I can't think of anything major, but maybe something like Final Fantasy XIV's finally coming to our platform.
Man, that would be cool.
That'd be really nice.
Is that too late though? Do you think
Final Fantasy XIV is still really popular?
Like Reborn was.
Well, it's really popular,
but
the
came out with
the
new DLC. The new
Heaven's
Sword
coming, or
I think it just came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say like when I think of big holes, right? It's like maybe like Overwatch, like maybe something with Blizzard, maybe
like a beta first, like a console beta first,
only on Xbox for consoles. Yeah, exactly.
Like you thief, Destin. You stole Sean Loomis's suggestion, which is Hearthstone will be a timed console exclusive on Xbox One, and of course.
Are you calling his prediction dumb?
No, I'm saying
you're like give us dumb predictions.
I said dumb or crazy.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's totally possible. I would love to see. I mean, it's on iOS.
It's on everything
else.
It's
built really well for iOS. I don't see why Blizzard would not get that game on as many platforms as possible.
Yep.
It would totally work on console. Whether you have a cursor or you just like flicking through cards with your shuffle.
They did the
shuffling.
They did the Magic card games.
Flipping through cards with your shuffle.
Shuffle thumbstick.
Having played the Magic card games on Xbox, I just feel like Hearthstone would be a great fit on that platform.
Yeah.
And they could come.
And the Magic games are rad. Like those games are great.
Well, the last one was kind of butt.
Well, many of them are rad.
For
as long as I've worked here, they've been rad.
And Hearthstone could come along and crush it. I mean, card packs for $10. Like I think day one when I played Hearthstone, I spent $30 on cards.
Oh god,
yeah.
I spent 100 and something.
Man. Hearthstone's really good, and I would love to have it on my console while I have like competitive Hearthstone snapped into Twitch or something.
I mean, obviously Diablo came to consoles, but I feel like there's a gap for Blizzard to step in and say like, hey, we're obviously on PC still, but we're only on consoles for X, and whatever it is. Hearthstone would be a really good get.
We talked about Smite earlier. Sean Gallagher says Microsoft's new IP will be a MOBA. Bold.
I feel like everybody's new IP is going to be a MOBA this year.
They see the market size currently, and they're always about big new IP. I think the C3 will be all about Microsoft's first-party characters. Then the one more game routine will show all the characters from earlier duking it out in a MOBA. So an Xbox-themed MOBA.
Oh, that's interesting.
MOBAs are about playing roles, and Microsoft has a big enough library to do so now. It won't be Xbox exclusive, but Windows exclusive. That'll be the case for many Microsoft titles very soon. Because
that would be so smart.
The
do PC, Xbox One crossplay, and that would be so cool.
Yeah, like rather than, they're going to do a fighting game like PlayStation All-Stars. Like, do a MOBA where you can add new heroes all the time.
You know what just occurred to me is like, we're probably due for Mass Effect news. Like, I wonder if they could kind of go back to the old days and be like, guess what? Mass Effect is back on the Xbox platform.
That would be nuts.
Yeah.
If they robbed Sony of Mass Effect 4 or whatever
That's the only other thing I can think of that's like megaton crazy.
That's really good.
Because I would imagine we're due for Mass Effect news at this E3. Maybe it's too early. I don't know.
I hope it's another presentation where people talk at the camera.
And just
I really enjoy that.
A real on dev diary.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Look at this action figure.
Well, but like, what are you supposed to do if a game's like that early in pre-production?
Don't talk about it. Just wait.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about on the show the survey that BioWare apparently sent out. Really detailed analysis of like what that game might actually be. So if that's all there, we might get a decent glimpse.
I avoided that survey. I didn't want to know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It was probably wise because there's a lot of really detailed stuff about characters and planets and roles and what you're doing and how the game works that hopefully we'll get to see at E3.
That's like the one thing about this job. It's like I literally would not be doing my job if I tried to go into that game blind, like which is like a crazy. Because I would love to live in a world where I could just not watch any trailers and just like experience that game completely fresh.
I don't mind checking out trailers and stuff, but like when it's a survey and it's giving away plot details, that's kind of stuff I'm like.
Destin hates surveys. If there's one thing Destin doesn't like, it's when we don't explain Judges Week and surveys.
Those two things.
The two biggies.
Yeah. I don't think the MOBA will happen with Microsoft IPs only because they're backing Smite so hard. You know, it seems like Smite's their bet into the MOBA market. But that's
definitely a timed exclusive. We don't know how long it might be. A month, it might be 6 months, it might be a year. We have no idea.
But they're doing that thing where people are going to make that connection, Smite, Xbox One.
So Microsoft's, I totally agree. I think Microsoft's work on that ends the moment that game is out. They don't have to promote it anymore. They can put it on the dashboard, and that's fine. But
also, like right now, everyone wants to figure out how to crack MOBAs on consoles.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that would be another thing, right? Imagine if they were like, League is on Xbox now. I don't know how the hell you would control it, but it's
impossible.
like, yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Sure,
that is like the caliber of MOBA they would need, and so the only way to do that, like, Smite will probably do well. It seems really cool, but like, I don't think it's like the gigantic thing that it would take for them to make it like their big push for MOBAs, because like they, you know, like someone is going to crack MOBAs on consoles. Like it will happen eventually somehow, and like because it's such a big, like there's no way there isn't somebody at Microsoft and somebody at Sony watching the numbers on League and Dota and not saying I want that, you know. So
40
like
million monthly users or something.
Yeah,
on
it's
League. It's like,
insane.
What?
That's insane. Yeah, that's like double what Sony has sold life to date of PS4s. Like I mean, so
and if it's free, like if it's pre-installed on every machine,
exactly,
that you sell, it's like, oh, the Xbox MOBA is just there. It's the first thing you see when you open it up.
And I just don't feel like Smite prevents that. You know, like I think like I agree there'd be a little weird to be like, oh, Smite, but never mind, look at this MOBA instead.
Sure.
But like it's worth it if they're looking at like those numbers.
Same as Tomb Raider being a viable franchise on PlayStation still, even though Uncharted is like the premier action adventure thing.
The problem is Xbox doesn't have the install base, so they're never going to get those 40 million concurrents.
That's the problem.
Yes.
You know?
Well, that's why they need to sell content. Like they need something that's going to give them that install base.
And the reason Minecraft blew up is because it can run on everything easily. You know, like even the worst laptop you have can probably run Minecraft.
Well, I feel like that would be the smartest move for Microsoft right now. Is like, okay, look, like because I don't even think we have Xbox numbers. Where Sony's
like
at like
fake,
20,
like,
and they're sold in rather than sold through.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Sony is at what, like 22.
Yeah.
So maybe Microsoft's solution is like, hey, you know where there are a lot of users? Steam. Like, guess what? Like PC and Xbox One crossplay for every game.
Yeah.
Like, or just for everything. Like, honestly, like I feel like that's how they move.
Awesome.
Like that is how you like make that ecosystem grow, right? Is to say
Halo
like
5 on PC.
Yeah, seriously. Like, so something like that too would be
That'd
crazy.
be awesome.
Yeah.
If it's cross-buy for everything, like I own Halo 5, so I just install it on Steam and I can just play with people on Xbox.
Yeah.
That'd
be really cool.
That'd be great.
Josh Previtt writes in and says, it will be revealed that Yacht Club Games is working on a new Battletoads game.
Ooh.
They are the developer of Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
They, obviously, I would assume that this suggests...
Or if Microsoft just bought them, like...
Man,
I got money in the brain.
That'd be a crazy purchase because Shovel Knight was their first game, I think. At least their first big one, and I don't know how well it did, but it was amazing.
It's amazing.
Shovel Knight's so good. And
I want to replay it on Vita. I want to replay it on
Xbox where you get some Battletoads.
I do. I want to do all that because I played it on DS and Wii U, so
really?
I'll probably play it on Vita and Xbox One.
That'd be great because Yacht Club is a dev that clearly gets retro games in a way that most people don't. Where it's like, oh, it's got pixels. This is like, I believe that this would run on an NES.
Yeah, and it's not like pandering like it is. It's not like. I don't know. There are no like cheap nostalgia things in it. Like it actually feels like an original, smart, like love letter to those.
Really good
to use a trite point.
Don't use love.
I like to be as trite and cliche as possible.
Moving on to Shane V. Shane V has another really big, ambitious prediction. The Toys to Life market is almost to its saturation point, but I don't think Xbox will be able to resist. This is why I think Rare's next game is going to use Project Spark as a launching pad for an NFC title featuring the likes of Conquer, Banjo, Battletoads, Viva Pinata, and possibly even Blinks. My man. With so many beloved characters to choose from, I see this as a logical step for Rare and one of Microsoft's big announcements at E3. Thanks. Keep up the great work.
That's cool. Don't use whatever that what is it called again?
Project Spark.
Spark. Don't use Spark for anything.
I totally agree. I think that thing, like, there was a couple emails about like Blinks or Banjo coming to Spark via packs like Conquer did, and I think that's totally feasible, but that... Like, I just don't see Spark as a game platform.
I hate how plausible that is because I feel like it would be
it's
a
the easiest way to do it.
Man, but like that NFC idea, like I just feel like it would crash and burn against Star Wars and like everything coming to Disney Infinity and Amiibos.
Sorry.
Is that your ringtone? It's just like a sad funeral bell.
Yeah. That's my text. Sorry about
that. You were saying?
No, I can totally like I agree with Sean B. That is a pretty lot. Like I can totally see them doing that, and I feel like it would be a huge mistake.
They invested a lot of money in the Spark, so
yeah. And well, it's also just like right now, like when you look at Amiibos and when you look at Disney Infinity and Skylanders, it's like like I can see wanting a piece of that as a first party investment, but oof, man, I can't see that. I love Banjo. I love Banjo almost as much as Marty. Like, I would be super into that, but like, can you really imagine like those figures catching on in the way?
It wouldn't. Not if it goes through Spark. So Spark's like super intimidating.
So separate from Spark, like this is the other thing. We talk about consoles sold and the install base being large, but not that large. It's also a massive risk because if you are a first-party studio like Microsoft and you are limiting it to first-party properties, you are doing the opposite of what LEGO Dimensions is doing, which is saying they're casting the widest net possible for every franchise you can imagine. Portals, like what is it? Simpsons. They announced Back to the Future today. There's so many things. There's so much variety. If you're an Xbox game and it's Xbox only and it's Xbox characters, that's great for that audience. But you're not going to get a PlayStation person or a Skylanders person or a Disney Infinity person who can get all of their favorite franchises, except Xbox. Like, you're not going to get if it's just Xbox. So I think that presents a massive problem. Not to say it's impossible, but I just think that it would be a bad business move to focus on stuff like rare characters.
Is this like a bottle inside of a bottle? It's weird.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
It's like a
water bottles are.
Well, it just looks like it stores less water than it should. Like, it frustrates me
right now.
Yeah, sorry.
You all right?
It's so you don't burn your hand when you put liquid inside of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do people drink hot liquid? I guess obviously you can.
Hot or cold.
That's interesting.
I never thought about that. Maybe I'll get that try today.
Tell us about your favorite water bottles. Unlocked.
Unlocked at IGN.com. James Provinciali writes in. I think I got that.
Wow.
James says, a new Halo Wars announced for Windows 10 to show its commitment to PC gaming. Microsoft does have a new strategy game an existing strategy franchise coming back, a beloved strategy game coming back. I maintain that it's Viva Pinata.
Yes, that sounds very likely.
James thinks it's going to be Halo Wars coming to Windows 10. And again, if everything is going to be synergized between Xbox One and Windows 10
and Surface, like,
that could totally work.
But what about like Spartan Assault or whatever? Is that
they have two of those, right?
Yeah, those are like twin stick action games.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, are those like that felt like those didn't do well enough to justify doing a non-Xbox? Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, obviously, once those came to Xbox, I assume they did a little better. But like, starting as a Surface-only or a Windows-only Halo spin-off game, like, I don't know. And yeah, maybe RTS works in a way that twin stick shooters don't. But I feel like with Halo 5 and with Master Chief Collection still getting updates, I would be surprised to see them do Halo Wars. Yeah, exactly. Like, it feels like it would split Halo so wide. And like, how would Halo Wars on Windows 10 possibly get attention when everyone's talking about Halo 5?
And after Halo Wars like ended, that didn't go well for the companies involved or Microsoft. Like, I don't think it sold that well. Like, it did okay, but not fantastic.
There are people who love it. There are people who still play it. Like,
it's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a great game. It's just the way that relationship ended was not pretty.
I can see like later, like next year, I can totally see doing that and bringing it back someday. But I just feel like, why would you do it in a year with Master Chief Collection and Halo 5 and all these other things?
So maybe don't. Samuel T. Jones makes the point that it'll probably be a 2016 game. Samuel got like 2 or 3 mentions in here today. Wow. Lots of good predictions from Samuel. Samuel says Halo Wars is announced as the beloved strategy game that's making a comeback. It was hinted earlier in the year. This is based off the fact that it was teased in the Phantom Dust trailer last E3. There was a poster or something in the background of the Phantom Dust trailer that was just like Halo Wars. There was also a Gears of War one.
Interesting.
Ooh, we said interesting at the same time.
That's all we have time for today. Yeah.
Well, that is the last of our predictions. That's awesome. All of them.
Wow.
Anything else from you guys? What are you looking forward to? I mean, we got a lot of emails from people about like Scalebound gameplay is going to be there. And we're going to finally see Quantum Break, and maybe Alan Wake will be a pre-order bonus, and hopefully we're going to learn more about Fallout. Actually, we got so few emails about third party. It was all Microsoft.
Well, because that's the thing, right? Like, freaking everybody has their own press conference now. Like, like I would imagine that like if Ubisoft is a big mine was yesterday. You didn't come, and I was very offended.
Man.
I had a point. It's like no one expects like a brand new Far Cry to be announced or whatever at anything other than the Ubisoft conference, you know. And like again, like I guess I said Mass Effect coming to Xbox exclusively would be interesting. But like the game details itself are totally like they would be at EA, not at Microsoft, you know. So
it'll
I think
be like Mass Effect. Here's a brief presentation. See more at EA's.
And that's exactly what happened with Hardline last year. There was, you know, then when you got to the Sony conference, it was here's like, okay, you saw multiplayer, here's campaign.
I'm sure you'll see the same thing this year with Battlefront at Sony. Like,
I think
you will get the EA. I can't remember who's first, but you'll get probably the like big team battle stuff, like big scale Hoth map fight or something at EA, and then it'll go over to Sony, and you'll see the co-op. And you'll see a mission or something to that effect.
That makes sense.
So, that's it.
Cool.
I think we did it, boys.
Destin, anything else to say about surveys?
So are there ballots? Or like, do you like fill out a form when you're done?
Yeah. I prefer a plastic water bottle to a metal one. I feel like the metal, you get that tinny taste.
Yeah, like metallic.
It feels like it's not probably good for you.
That's why I don't like using Go mugs for my coffee in the morning.
Go mugs?
Go mug? Like a to-go.
Go mugs.
Like a to-go mug.
Yeah.
A mobile mug.
Mitch, have you ever used this to store like coffee or anything?
Never.
hot?
I'm going to try it today. No, for coffee, it's gross.
To store. I like how you don't say to drink.
This is my
store coffee.
vertical storage unit for liquid.
What a mess.
Man, so you can email all of your off-topic or video game-related questions, comments, love letters to unlocked@ign.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at MitchyD. Andrew is at Garfep. Destin is at Destin Legary. What are you guys working on this week that people should be paying attention to? You're doing House of Wolves all day, every day.
Well, I did House of Wolves all day yesterday, so all the clip outs from that are going live today throughout the day.
Okay.
So we did the story missions and Prison of Elders stuff, and then I'm going to do a few best way to plays. I did one on Witcher, some 5 tips to like get you started. It's pretty spoiler free. I mean, people are really sensitive about spoilers though, so I don't want to claim it's spoiler free, but I tried to like steer away from anything narrative driven.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway.
Instead of your scary funeral bell, I suggest having a clip of Mitch saying, "I saw a monster" as your text tone.
Okay.
I think that would be more appropriate.
That'd be great. What are you doing?
I'm filling out tax forms and going to HR a lot.
Texas.
Yeah, finding an apartment. Yeah, I will probably not be doing a ton this week other than like podcasts and stuff. But yeah, hopefully starting soon, leading up to E3, I'll have some stuff.
Cool. Check out my review for Life is Strange Episode 3. That went live this week. It's really, really, really good. That series continues to impress me after its first episode certainly did not. I'm also working on the review for Heroes of the Storm. That's a PC game, not an Xbox game. But if you care about MOBAs, just keep an eye out for that. Anything else? We done
I think
here?
that's it. I think we are.
Let's go get lunch.
Yeah,
I'm so hungry, boys. We'll be back next week. Ryan and Marty will be back to talk about things that I don't know what they can talk about that they saw. So lots to keep secret.
The beautiful city of Santa Monica.
There was
a lot of smog when we flew in. That's my Marty impression. Yeah, thanks for having me. Maybe I'll come back every so often.
We'll have you back for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, guys, thanks again.
Of course.
Keep it locked. Podcast Unlocked, episode 196.
You have no idea how to outro this
No,
show.
it's
Wednesday.
I was
like,
actually,
I don't know what to do.
My
All right,
brain
just
was
turn it off.
My brain
Please
was on
turn off
fire.
your iPad.
I'm trying to remember details. For
I don't know why I'd watch that on
I'm
iPad.
trying to remember details for the live show, but I don't know if they're finalized yet. So, again, like we say this every week, next week we'll have information about Podcast Unlocked episode 200.
Yeah,
live
/ beyond
in
400.
San Francisco. Yeah, it's a combined event. We're going to have both shows back to back. It's in San Francisco. We're figuring out the date. We have a venue. We are locking down all the details.
I think there is a date.
There is. I don't know if it's public.